Okay. B, extensive research shows that television ads affect the buying habits of consumers. So we're saying that TV ads, research shows that TV ads do have an impact on the buying habits of people. Some, what does some mean?
At least one, or?
At least one. Yep, at least one. So at least one person concludes from this research that violent TV imagery sometimes causes violent behavior. Okay. But the effectiveness of TV ads could be a result of those televised images being specifically designed to alter buying habits, whereas TV violence is not designed to cause violent behavior. Okay, so this is saying that maybe the reason that the TV ads are effective is because it's designed to be effective, where this other thing is not, or the TV violence is not. Hence, we can safely conclude that violence TV imagery does not cause violence. So our conclusion is this last statement. And then we see that the reasoning in B's argument is flawed because the argument, so why does our support not guarantee this conclusion? Why can we not say that violent TV for sure does not cause violence?
Just because it's not designed to cause it, it maybe could cause it anyway.
Yeah, just because it's not designed, I love how I said, just because it's not designed or the purpose of it is to cause the violence, doesn't mean there's not something else causing it. All right, so go ahead and read these answer choices and let me know when you're done and have a answer. Got it right.
D was right.
Yeah. Did you know, or did you just throw it out there?
It just seemed like the best answer to me.
No, I agree. No, this question is terrible because I don't like any of the answer choices. I went with D because I could, based on my approach, I could cross all the other ones out. I just didn't really understand what, like, we'll get to it in a second. Okay. A, relies on an illegitimate inference from the fact that advertisements can change behavior to the claim that ads can cause violent behavior. Like, that's not an illegitimate inference, right? Like, this one was pretty easy to cross off.
Yeah, no.
B, fails to distinguish a type of behavior. So we failed to explain the difference between a type of behavior from a stimulus that may or may not affect the behavior. I don't yeah, I'm like, what would be the type of stimulus? And I think we say what the behavior is. Like for ads, it's buying habits, and for TV, it's violence. Like, I don't understand. Like, it's clearly just a behavior. It doesn't matter, etc. C, undermines its own position. So this is whenever it says undermines its own position, this is like whenever, like if I said all cows are green, therefore I want a blue cow. Like, I undermine my own position because all cows are green.
Okay.
Or if I said a woman needs to be president, or you must vote for a woman, although there are two people running and I don't like the woman running, so I'm voting for the man. Like, I would undermine my, like, one of my stimuluses or whatever.
Okay.
D, okay.
But undermining your position is kind of like going against what you have stated.
Yes, it's like whenever you give a premise, or sometimes it's like whenever two of your premises contradict each other, or your conclusion, like, it is in conflict with one of your positions a little bit. E, fails to consider, so we don't take into account the possibility that the argument it disputes. So what's the argument it disputes? The argument we dispute is that
that violence causes The TV imagery does cause violence? Would that be what the argument we're disputing?
That's like, well, this is where if you would have went with the argument it disputes, if it's disputing the ads, like I don't think we're disputing the ads. We agree with that.
Okay.
But we are disputing that violent TV causes or violent imagery causes violent behavior. Well, that's not intended to address a different issue. Like what would be the separate issue that it's addressing?
Right. So I was confused on that. That's why I didn't pick that.
No, I love that's actually an amazing, like it's good that you have that strategy of crossing off, because that's why I asked, that's why I was really pushing you to pick one. I was like, which one is more likely to be true? Because this one concludes that a claim is false. Does that happen? Do we conclude that a claim is false?
Yeah.
Yes. And do we do it on the basis that there's one part of the argument that
needed to be true?
That needed to be true, or one part of the argument that like it's almost like a concession, but like yes, this is true. Like yes. Like yes, we raise a really valid point here, right? Like this is something we need to consider. Definitely. But just because we need to consider this, does that guarantee that this conclusion is true? No. We need to look into it for sure, but that doesn't just because it hasn't been proven. This is my proven versus untrue. Just because this hasn't been proven doesn't mean that it's untrue or that it is true. Just because I guess it would be the opposite. Just because this is unproven doesn't mean that this is not true. Does that make sense?
Yeah.